The July sun scorched Lakeview Towers, a sleek apartment complex near Crescent Meadows, where the pool sparkled as a summer haven. Marcus Thompson, a Navy SEAL and my ally, was lounging poolside when Karen Miller, self-appointed HOA enforcer, stormed in, demanding he leave the pool because he wasn't a resident. Her accusation was a firecracker, aimed at ruining his day. Karen, who'd called 911 on Marcus's home, dumped trash in my field, and felled my tree, had no idea Marcus's cameras caught her rant. I was Sarah, the 20-year-old farmer, Meadow Mart owner, conservationist, SWAT trainer, tech founder, federal health inspector, sharpshooter, Marine, county sheriff, 911 dispatcher, retired federal judge, police chief, homeland security agent, developer who built Crescent Meadows, designer of its security system, and owner of the lake, dock, and Crescent Meadows. What she didn't know, Marcus owned Lakeview Towers outright. Her demand wasn't just wrong, it was harassment, and we were about to flip the script with a takedown she'd never see coming. Marcus stood calm, phone filming, as residents, pinged by my security app, gathered livid. This wasn't just a pool spat. It was Karen's most brazen assault, blind to Marcus's ownership. My heart raced, but a wicked grin spread. She thought she could kick Marcus out? We were about to turn her demand into a viral smackdown, with his deed as the knockout punch. What unfolded wasn't just saving Marcus's pool day. It was a masterclass in poetic justice, community muscle, and comedic retribution that left Karen humiliated, her HOA dreams crushed, and Lakeview Towers cheering. Marcus's pool wasn't just a spot. It was her trap, and his ownership was the verdict. Karen's outburst was her worst blunder, and our response was about to make waves. Lakeview Towers was a luxurious apartment complex bordering Crescent Meadows. Its glass towers, lush courtyards, and rooftop pool a magnet for upscale residents. Tucked near my suburb's lake, it was a haven of modern living, but Karen's HOA meddling from Crescent Meadows had crept in, targeting outsiders. Marcus Thompson's penthouse, with a view of my lake, was the complex's crown, and he owned the entire property, a fact unlisted in public records. I'm Sarah, the 20-year-old farmer, conservationist, SWAT trainer, Meadow Mart owner, tech founder of Crescent Code, federal health inspector, sharpshooter, Marine, county sheriff, 911 dispatcher, retired federal judge, police chief, homeland security agent, developer who built Crescent Meadows, designer of its security system, and owner of the lake, dock, and Crescent Meadows HOA. With a fictional ageless fire, I'd crushed Karen 71 times, buying Meadow Mart after a farm stand ban, exposing her assault on Lily, stopping her fishing derby, evicting her fishing club, jailing fake HOA cops, rallying for a pilot's defiance, retrieving my towed tractor, shutting down her cop call on my fence, backing Ibrahim Traore, ejecting her security patrol, protecting the Thompsons, winning court for my wrecked car, defending my mom's cold stand, exposing her 911 call on Senator Ellison, grounding her, airline stunt, nailing her bank meddling, restoring my water pipe, towing her SUV, saving my mom's nurse, rescuing Emma from her kidnapping, saving Liam from her brick attack, foiling her field grab, scaring her with my bear, Bruno, defending Emma's wheelchair, stopping her 911 call on my ranch, saving Max from her clippers, voiding her lake fine, saving my pool party, recovering my stolen truck, foiling her power theft, stopping her sewage-powered lights, disarming her fake cop, rebuilding my sister's bridge, proving I owned her mortgage, stopping her assault on my wife, Alex, ejecting her trespassing officers, shutting off her pipeline, proving my Lamborghini legit, turning my lawn into an obstacle course, outshooting the FBI, stopping her fake cop arrest, handling her 911 abuse, rescuing my kids from her kidnapping, towing her Mustangs from my garage, trapping her at her gate, burying her porch in mulch, spiking her SUV on my lawn, closing her trails for my hunting, proving I built the suburb, jailing her for hitting Max, rebuilding the Thompsons' house, turning her trails into my hunting ground, catching her spying on my yard, suspending her board for burning my boat, nailing her for her 911 call on my rain tanks, foiling her eviction over my cabin, burying her in pennies for her fines, towing her car for blocking my driveway, reclaiming my cabin after her sale, sinking her cop's truck with grandpa's tractor, evicting her fishing club with Marcus, arresting her for breaking into my garage, busting her 911 call on my pool, stopping her fake cop arrest, seizing her HOA with my D clause, crushing her motorbike ban, locking her pool access, charging her for felling my tree, returning her trash with interest, nailing her for my gym's 911 call, and defending Marcus's home from her 911 stunt. My sheriff powers and Marcus's ownership were our latest weapons. Marcus Thompson, early 40s, was a Navy SEAL, lake owner and Lakeview Towers proprietor, his calm strength a community anchor. A black man targeted by Karen's bias, he'd fought beside me, his complex a symbol of success. Karen Miller, mid-50s, was a desperate bully, her clipboard a fading prop. Exiled from Crescent Meadows HOA, she'd infiltrated Lakeview's resident board, unaware Marcus owned the property and cameras rolled. Her demand relied on baseless resident rules, blind to his deed. Key allies included Alex, my Delta Force operative wife, Mia, my nurse sister, Jake, my Marine brother, Vince, Iron Riders biker leader, Ellen, my sharpshooter mom, Tom, my biologist friend, Linda, the councilwoman, Lily, my waitress turned leader, Grandpa Joe, our tractor-driving patriarch, and Deputy Harris, my SWAT deputy. Agent Laura Chun, my FBI contact, was ready to escalate. The Crescent Meadows Forum, our digital hub, would amplify the fight. The setting was a steamy July afternoon in 2025 at Lakeview Towers' rooftop pool, where Karen's outburst echoed and Marcus's cameras recorded. Residents, alerted by my app, gathered in outrage. Karen's demand was a crime, and her ignorance of Marcus's ownership was her fatal error. This wasn't just about a pool. It was Karen's assault on our values. For us, it was a chance to defend Marcus, expose her bias, and unite our communities. As Marcus filmed, we knew this fight would echo our victories and splash with our spirit. Karen's demand was a blatant offense. Only residents allowed, she barked at Marcus, claiming he didn't live here. Marcus filmed, voice cool, "This is my pool, Karen. I own this complex." His cameras caught her by the pool. I radioed Harris, who snorted, "Harassment with bias?" She's sunk. Ellen texted Marcus's property deed, saying, "Karen's drowned." Linda vowed to bring county officials, noting, "Targeting a SEAL's property? Jail." I called Chun, who snapped, "This is FBI-level discrimination." Residents swarmed, filming Karen's tirade. My forum post exploded. Karen told Marcus to leave his own pool. He owns Lakeview Towers. Hashtags Karen versus pool and hashtag Marcus owns it trended, hitting 225 million views. Jake livestreamed from Meadowmart, showing Marcus's footage and deed. Lakeview stands with Marcus, he said, hitting 230 million views. Lily handed out flyers about property laws, explaining, "Marcus owns the complex. Karen's a fraud." Karen's board allies, a duo with signs, "Residents only," try to back her, but residents drown them out, chanting Marcus's pool. Mia shared Marcus's SEAL credentials, proving his clout. Marcus shared his clip, "Karen's demand a lie. I own this place." The video hit 3.3 billion views. I arrived, saying, "She targeted me too. We're shutting her down." My sheriff badge rattled the allies. Harris's SWAT team and Chin's FBI unit arrived, reviewing the footage. "Clear harassment," Chin said, noting bias. I flashed my sheriff badge, live streaming. Karen told Marcus to leave his pool. He owns the complex. The stream hit 16.5 billion views, with news vans circling. Comments flooded. "Marcus is a boss." "Karen's done." Linda arrived with a federal prosecutor, announcing Karen's act is harassment with bias. The crowd chanted "Own, own," as the allies fled. The FBI found Karen at her condo, clutching a fake resident rule. Harris cuffed her as I filed charges for harassment and discrimination. Karen rambled, "He's not a resident," but Chun held up Marcus's deed and footage. "You're under federal arrest," she said. The forum planned a pool-free day at Lakeview's pool, with music and rallies. Karen's lie about residents collapsed. Marcus's ownership was ironclad. The stage was set, not just to defend Marcus, but to crush her meddling and rally Lakeview around his authority. Her demand was her end, and our counterstrike was our victory. Lakeview Towers was a fortress of justice. Karen stood cuffed at her condo, trembling, as Harris and Chun reviewed her fake rule. Marcus's pool buzzed with residents, ready to rally. The livestream hit 17.5 billion views, with hashtag Karen vs. Pool and hashtag Marcus owns it trending globally. Residents packed the pool deck, waving signs. Marcus's pool. No, HOA lies. News crews broadcast live. Anchors calling it a SEAL's complex versus Karen's bias. The air roared, and we were ready to sink Karen's scheme. Tom addressed the crowd, voice steady. Marcus owns Lakeview Towers, date in hunt. Karen's demand is harassment with bias. He showed Marcus's footage and ownership records, proving her crime. Residents cheered, sharing the clips online. Ellen handed out flyers, saying, Marcus is a SEAL and owner. Karen targeted him. The forum surged. Karen's a bigot. Marcus is our hero. A viral tweet read, Karen tells black man to leave his own pool, unaware he owns the complex. Hashtag Marcus owns it. Karen yelled, it's our pool. But Chun held up Marcus's footage, stating, you committed harassment and discrimination. Her face crumpled. She hadn't known his ownership. Civil rights groups joined X, posting, Karen's attack on Marcus is a disgrace. Support Lakeview. The Change.org petition, Justice for Marcus's Pool, hit 230 million signatures with comments like, Marcus is a legend and Karen's done. Linda spoke to reporters, voice firm. Marcus's leadership and ownership are our pride. Karen's bias threatens us all. She announced a council motion to fine Crescent Meadows, HOA, $4.2 million and ban its overreach. The crowd roared, chanting pool free. The board leaked texts disavowing Karen. She's rogue. Residents guarded the pool as Vince's biker crew patrolled the complex. I grabbed the megaphone, heart pounding. Karen told Marcus to leave his pool. But I'm sheriff, he owns Lakeview, and we're charging her. I proposed a pool-free day at the pool with swims, music, and a fundraiser for equity, inviting all. The crowd cheered, volunteering to host. Marcus shared online. Karen's demand failed. Join us for pool-free day. The livestream hit 18.5 billion views, with hashtag pool-free day trending. Comments flooded. Marcus is unstoppable. Karen sunk. Karen made a last stand, yelling at Chun, I'm enforcing rules. But Rachel, my attorney, arrived with a federal indictment. You're charged with harassment, discrimination, and trespass, she said, as Harris tightened her cuffs. The crowd parted, phones filming her walk to the FBI van. Jake's stream hit 35 billion views, with comments like, bye, Karen. Pool wins. News ran headlines. Navy SEAL owner defeats Karen's pool demand with complex deed. Lily organized kids to paint pool-free signs, while Tom tied it to my lake, saying, Marcus protects our community. Harris secured the pool, and residents cheered as charges locked in. Chun verified Marcus's deed, and Linda promised county funding for a Lakeview Unity sign, marking the complex's status. The stage was set for a victory that would defend Marcus, end Karen's meddling, and show Lakeview's power. Karen was cuffed, but our epic response would shock everyone. The federal courthouse roared with justice as Karen faced trial. Marcus's pool a symbol of triumph. The livestream hit 36 billion views, with hashtag Karen vs. Pool and hashtag Marcus owns it trending worldwide. Residents packed the gallery, waving pool-free signs as news crews filmed. I stood in my sheriff uniform, Marcus in his SEAL gear. Our roles now a verdict, our evidence our blade, ready to bury Karen. Judge Alvarez, a federal veteran, called order. Ms. Miller, you're charged with harassment, discrimination, and trespass, he said. Rachel presented Marcus's footage, showing Karen's pool demand. The plaintiff owns Lakeview Towers, she said. The gallery cheered, phones filming for the forum, where comments surged. Karen's done. Marcus is our hero. Chun testified, voice sharp. Karen's demand violated federal laws with discriminatory intent, targeting a property owner. She showed the footage, sparking gasps. Linda announced the council's $4.2 million HOA fine and dissolution. The crowd chanted pool, pool, as kids waved painted waves, symbols of our win. Tom showed Marcus's deed and my sheriff logs, proving her crime. Marcus's ownership sank her, he said, sparking applause. I unveiled a Lakeview Unity sign sketch, county-backed, to mark the complex. This pool's his, and Karen's guilty, I said, sharing it online, a ripple under a federal seal. The forum erupted. Perfect. Marcus's legacy. Alvarez reviewed the evidence, footage, deed, logs, calling it overwhelming. Karen, pleading not guilty, claimed, it's resident policy. But Rachel played her rant, exposing her lies. Alvarez ruled, guilty on all counts. 12 years for Miller, $5.5 million in damages to Thompson, and HOA dissolution. The gallery roared as Karen slumped, broken. Our digital dossier, footage, deed, indictments, was handed to the press, ensuring conviction. News ran it live. Navy SEAL owner defeats Karen's pool demand with complex deed. The crowd surged, music blaring, as pool-free day plans took shape. Marcus took the mic, voice strong. My complex is our pride, he said. Residents hugged him, guarding the pool in solidarity. This wasn't just Karen's defeat. It was Lakeview's triumph, proof our community could outshine bias. As the pool sparkled, justice prevailed. Karen's conviction was Lakeview's victory. News ran headlines like SEAL owner defeats Karen's pool demand and Marcus's Unity triumphs. The livestream hit 39 billion views, with hashtag Marcus owns it trending for weeks. Fan art of the Unity sign as a justice symbol flooded the forum, and equity groups invited Marcus to speak. Talk shows called, but he stayed grounded, saying, this is about our community. Pool-free day was a sensation. Thousands joined, residents, kids, Harris's team, swimming, dancing, and unveiling the Lakeview Unity sign. Meadow Mart catered, and Tom led eco talks, tying the pool to My Lake's harmony. The event raised $19.5 million for equity programs, and state leaders hailed it as a model. The forum buzzed with photos. Marcus's pool shines. No more Karens. The Crescent Meadows HOA was eradicated. Linda's vote fined it $4.2 million and dissolved it, with new laws banning discrimination. Karen got 12 years, was banned from Lakeview, and vanished to a prison cell, reportedly arguing over rules. Don't demand like Karen became a local joke painted on pool decks. Marcus's complex became a tourist draw, with visitors snapping Unity selfies. Meadow Mart and Marcus's complex events soared, the cafe hosting Unity nights with music and justice talks. Tourists flocked to Marcus's pool, boosting sales. Residents brought gifts, mini ripples, seal patches, saying his fight inspired them. Tom's data showed the lake thriving, celebrated at a community feast. The digital dossier, footage, deed, verdicts was studied for anti-discrimination laws, influencing policy. Lily mentored kids, painting eco signs for the complex. The forum planned a Unity Fest with swims, music, and SWAT demos, cementing our spirit. Marcus turned Karen's demand into our triumph. One post read, I hired teens to patrol the pool, giving them pride. At the fest, under a Unity Forever banner, Linda toasted, to Marcus, Sarah, Lily, and Lakeview, where pools defeat tyrants. Fireworks burst, kids danced, and the complex glowed. Karen's demand had been a spark, but we'd built a legacy. Marcus's complex, my ranch, and our communities were our stronghold, proof no bully could cloud our spirit. As stars shone, I knew Lakeview and Crescent Meadows would always stand proud, united, and unstoppable.